So, as you may know, as you may have heard, as you may have seen, or as you could have obviously figured out, GTA, especially the fifth one, and probably the sixth one whenever it releases, is full of vehicles. From low tier to mid tier to high tier to S tier to absolutely like only the richest and most successful people have them. And, so you can do a lot of different things with the vehicles. You can just treat them as vehicles and only vehicles. You can create a collection, kind of like I'm doing. You can try and collect all the best vehicles in the game and consider yourself the best collector. Whatever you want to do. But not all vehicles are just like real life. Not all vehicles are made equal. As I said before, there are lower tier cars and there are higher tier cars. And I realize that the title of this episode is probably very subjective and probably will be disagreed on by quite a few people. There may be a different vehicle in GTA that's even more broken than the one I'm going to talk about today, and maybe even needs to be nerfed more than the one I'm talking about today. But from my knowledge, this is the most broken and stupid vehicle in GTA history. And I think it not only needs to be heavily nerfed, I'm of the opinion that it needs to be removed from the damn game entirely. And I will state my reasons why. You can feel free to disagree with me if you wish. You can feel free to agree with me if you wish. Just at least hear me out before you judge your opinion. What is the most broken, stupid, and needing to be nerfed vehicle in GTA history, you may ask? You may be asking? The Oppressor Mark II. Where do I fucking begin with this hellspawn of a vehicle? Where do I even begin on the multitude of reasons why this abomination needs to be nerfed and possibly even removed from the game entirely? Well, the Oppressor Mark I has a weakness in the sense that you can't really fly, quote unquote. You can get a big boost into the air and glide back down, but you cannot be in the air for an infinite amount of time. You're going to have to land eventually, and even that in of itself is broken, but it's not as broken as the Mark II. Because the Mark II, you can straight up just fly around with no care in the world. None at all. Absolutely none at all. There's no boost cooldown, there's no nothing. You can just straight up fly. As if you needed any less reason to buy a hangar, or go to Warstock or any other place and buy a plane. There is deadass no reason to now, because you can save up for the Oppressor and not have to worry about it. Plus, it has missiles in it. So, it's basically a buzzard and a plane put into one. Except it has more mobility than a plane, it has better handling than a plane, and it's faster than both a plane and a buzzard. So, why the absolute hell would you want to buy anything else? That in of itself, to be honest, is enough reason for it to be nerfed, and I'm not even done talking about it yet. Whenever you go into you can tell I'm getting pissed because you can hear my chair moving around. I'm starting to sit up. You can go into any GTA 5. I don't know if it's going to be in 6. You'll probably hear this in the future. But in GTA 5, as it stands right now, December 17th, 2023, as it stands right now, you can load into any random public lobby, and there is always some dumb motherfucker flying around on an Oppressor, either causing absolute havoc or showing off like, I have an Oppressor, look at me, I have no life. Or I spent money on the game to get myself $8 million. It's like, yes, cool, you have an Oppressor, good job, fuck off now, I don't care. I wasn't even a fan of the Oppressor Mark II before a couple of the reasons that I'm about to list, but Jesus Christ. If you're buying an $8 million flying missile bike just to show off, you're literally just stouting that you have no life. Like, that's literally what you're putting out there. You're sticking your chest out to people who don't care. Just stop. Literally just stop. Some people may find it cool, but like the majority of people just want you to leave them the hell alone, so just stop. The other thing, again, there's the other portion of people who are literally just there to cause havoc. There have been several times in public lobbies I am just trying to do a car meet and have fun. I'm trying to meet some new people, trying to maybe make some new friends. But guess what? Some douchebag with a fucking oppressor just decides, guess what? Fun is not allowed unless I say it is. Then they proceed to fly in on their little dinky winky oppressor Mark II and absolutely ruin everybody's car meet. Why? Literally why? Did your dad beat you as a child and now you don't think anyone is allowed to have fun? Like, really? Really, dude? And there's the whole thing about, don't worry about it, they're going to get put in a bad lobby. And you know what? They're probably going to do the same thing there, and they're not going to learn their lesson. So that's 100% invalid. And before I continue, I know some of you might be thinking, Kirby, what's the big deal? It's $8 million, it's worth it. And sure, I'm not saying the price tag isn't justified. $8 million for a bike that can fly infinitely and can shoot missiles. Yes, it is definitely worth the hefty price tag. But I am saying just this vehicle as a concept is fucking stupid. At least the first Oppressor had some flaws. Because as I said, you can really only boost into the air and then glide. You can't like change your altitude up and down as you wish. You can only just glide back down and then boost. But the Oppressor Mark II completely just gets rid of that and is like, yeah, what if we took the one big flaw that made the Oppressor Mark I reasonable and just completely removed it because fuck you. Like, I've always hated things that do that. Like, for example, if you're playing Call of Duty and you have the Mark I version of a gun and say it's really strong, but the fire rate's kind of slow and the accuracy is not too great. So it's really strong, and if you hit bullets, you're going to kill them almost instantly, but there's a small to decent chance it'll miss, and it's not that steady. Okay? Reward, but payoff. And then imagine the Mark II comes out, and not only does it do more damage, but it literally has zero fucking recoil. The fire rate is absolutely godly, and it practically turns into the PPSH. Like, you'd probably use it, yes, but the point I'm trying to make is that's still broken as shit. Like, that's absolutely fucking broken. There is no reason why, because you know what's gonna happen? Everybody's gonna use that gun now. And can you imagine if Rockstar was dumb enough to make the Oppressor only like 1 million? Everyone would have it. And you wouldn't be able to go in a public lobby. You wouldn't be able to find anybody in a public lobby not using an Oppressor Mark II. Like, come on. But this may not be the biggest flaw with the Oppressor Mark II, but this is the most annoying in my eyes. Just to give an example of one that happened to me not too long ago in a public lobby. Say you're in a CEO service with some people, and they say, alright, you gotta go get this in Polito, and you're in Strawberry, and it's like, alright, that's a long drive, but guess what? I can pull out a really fast car and zoom there. Then, as soon as you get onto the freeway and start accelerating, you look in the corner of your minimap and you see the fucking CEO on a fucking Oppressor just zooming from point A to point B in a 100% straight line. And you think, well shit, he's gonna get there like 5 minutes before me. And yup, sure enough, when you're still driving down that freeway and you have at least a good 2.5 miles left to go, he's already there. And now you feel like an absolute jackass because you wasted your time driving all that way and going through all that effort just to be upstaged by a little bitch boy on a flying bike. It doesn't get much more annoying than that, to be honest. Like, why in the world would I waste my time if you're just gonna go, yeah, I have a flying bike, and then just fly all the way to where you need to go? It's literally the closest thing in GTA you'll get to a fucking win button. And it's just that extra little bit annoying when you know that they know what they're doing. Sometimes they do it and they're not trying to upstage you, and that's fine, but it's still annoying. Then there's that person. There's that one occasional asshole who specifically waits like a good minute for you to already be on the freeway, then calls his oppressor. And he fucking knows exactly how much of a douche nozzle he's being, and he still does it just for that extra little bit of pettiness. And it makes you so mad because you want to just go find where he lives and sucker punch him right in the frickin' uvula. Like, it just makes you feel like a worthless piece of shit, to be honest. Like, it literally happened to me not that long ago, and I sat there in my Pegassi Zentorno, which is pretty freaking fast, by the way. It's not the fastest car in the game, but it's got an amazing acceleration and it's pretty fast. I sat there on the freeway for 3.5 minutes with my hands in my head, literally going, why the hell did I even bother wasting my time? Why did you invite me to your CEO service and these other 5 people if you are clearly proving that we are worthless to you and that you can just fucking do it yourself? Like, if you have an oppressor and you do any of these things, you are literally just sticking your 1-inch dick out and saying, guess what, I don't need any of you. Like, that's practically what you're doing. If you're using an oppressor and in your eyes you are using it just because it is easier to get things done, fine. Whatever. I understand it from that perspective because it can be a great tool, and yes, it genuinely can make things a lot easier. But if one of your teammates are already speeding down the freeway to go and get it, you could at least show the human respect and decency to just let them get it. Like, there's no need to upstage them just because you've spent $8 million on a flying tricycle. Like, it's so annoying because, it completely takes the respect out of it. It literally wastes the other person's time, and you're basically giving them the middle finger. Like, you might as well go to their house in real life and stick your middle finger right in their eyeballs. Like, that might as well be what you're doing. And on your way out of their house, you might as well roll all over the carpet and wipe your shoes on it. Like, you're being so disrespectful at that point. And I don't get it. Also, I'm gonna clarify something. I am not at all saying the oppressor is not a cool vehicle idea. I mean, who wouldn't like to have a flying bike with missiles? I understand that. But I am sitting here saying that as a concept and in actual practice, it is broken as shit. And if Rockstar somehow actually manages to listen to this whole thing, this is my message from me to you. Please either make the oppressor more pricey, nerf it, or just remove it from the game. It is honestly ruining GTA 5's online experience as a whole, and I wish it was not a thing. But you do you.